Our live? Okay, guys. Good morning. Good morning. We are here with Mike Stewart. Welcome, my friend. Wait to get here for like a while, try to get this date. Thank for accept or invited. Before we start, shout out to our sponsors, Brave Kimonos. If you want to get 10% off, use our code PBJJF10. You're able to get 10% off. If you also are Jiu-Jitsu owner or a jiu-jitsu head instructor and you wanna get a wholesale account, go on our website, fill it up the wholesale account, and you go get like a good price to be able to retail it at on your school. PBS CRAWLSPACE Foundation. If you look for like some concrete work, foundation work, they are the best guys in the marketing. Sans Law Farms, the high performance law service. I personally use the staffs on our corporation use the same company, and we highly recommend. And also, if you're in the Baltimore area, you wanna take care about your teeth. Parks Dental Care. Parks Dental Care. If you're a fighter, need a mouth guard, man. He can do like a
That's a good sponsor for you guys.
personalized mouth guard. Get like a
They do
logo
he does
one, get
logo.
your size. Because sometimes we get when we start to get the cheap one on Amazon. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's what people doing. But eventually, when you start like spar a little bit hard, train a little bit hard, you see like it's different when you wear a good
I
mouth guard.
never wore a mouth guard. You should wear a mouth guard.
Yeah.
You
On
should wear a mouth guard.
grapple, I never wear
Yeah.
too. But when I start doing like
But-
Muay Thai
but
and box, I'm like, oh,
I've
that's
hurt my teeth just grappling though.
No, but
Worse
if
than
you-
sparring.
serious.
If you don't have a mouth guard and you break your teeth, you can go there. He can fix
There
it.
you
You
go.
gotta fix. You go spend a little bit more money for sure than buy a mouth guard now, but he can fix that.
I Max talked to Dr. James. He runs the company, and I told him, "Hey, you're the most famous dentist in the jiu-jitsu world, man. You gotta show up to."
That's great. He should brand that.
Yeah, that's. I think it's good to see companies from outside of jiu-jitsu come into the jiu-jitsu market.
Mhm.
It really shows the audience, like how powerful jiu-jitsu audience can be. We're not only fighters, but we're entrepreneurs, and we have
Yeah.
so many people in our range that
It's a
can
crazy
support.
network. So many
Yeah.
cool people.
So many cool. Hey, I have like something to say. I, on my mind, only the guys from we know watch PBJJF podcast.
Yeah,
That's
I watched like
That's
almost
what
every
like
episode.
on my mind. Yesterday, one guy come to do a trial in my school, come for the podcast. He like, man, I live in Germantown, it's close here. I'm like on my YouTube, pop up this podcast, but I recognize like your face by the leads, the ads on the Instagram, that take my attention. Start to hit about check it out the podcast like daily, like check one, check two, and like, man, I need to start doing jiu-jitsu. And he stopped by the gym yesterday. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. Like we get people
Yeah,
from
like,
outside
what,
too.
what you guys are doing, like I hope the jiu-jitsu community is taking note locally and regionally, because I mean you guys are getting people into the sport. Like you're really truly spreading. A lot of people say we need to spread jiu-jitsu, but they're not really taking the steps. It's a lot of hard work what you're doing. So
That's
I told
hard.
you last time, man, I'm really proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man, yeah.
Your guys' schools, like everything you do in the tournament. I've run like local tournaments at my academy. That's hard. What you
It's
guys
hard,
are
yeah.
doing. We have so many. Our competitors really, they enjoy it.
Yeah, we got a couple
And
guys
look
from
at the quality of the stuff.
I like this, bro. Look at that.
The
the
belt,
belt,
the medals,
medal.
like you get like
Yeah.
like
Amazing, man.
you don't really see this in the
Never.
in the scene, like you have to really go
Yeah.
to the
It's good, man.
to other bigger organizations, but like bringing this level of professionalism that we're trying to
Yeah.
like you would say, right, like your school, you have a very professional school, like, and you know how hard it is to educate people.
Yep.
Like once you already have a group to
Yeah.
educate, but like in the East Coast, we're kind of like we're used to chaos tournaments. So when you educate
That's true.
people, when you educate people into professionalism, they kind of like, oh, hold on.
I don't want to follow the rules.
I always tell people, you have never seen disgusting chaos and disrespect until you've been in a bathroom at a Naga.
People walking without their shoes in the bathroom, then back to the bed.
And sorry, I don't want to talk,
Yeah,
that's right. I don't want to say it's important to have different. It's important to have other, competition and something to measure what you guys are doing against.
True.
Yeah.
I like the competition for real.
Of course,
I like the
you need it.
competition. That's my
Help
life.
us to grow.
But
yeah.
that's my life. I competed all my life since I'm 10 years old. It's not gonna be different on a scenario we're doing. The compete. Oh yeah.
Gift for Mike.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
beautiful.
If you come to the PBJJF podcast, you
Look
get
at
a mug,
Mug and a shirt.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you come to compete worlds, you get a competitor shirt. So
Yep.
that might happen.
Perfect.
Yeah, that
Thank you,
shirt
guys.
and the mug is yours.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's
Appreciate
for you
that.
to come to every season now. So every season we have a new mug. So you can collect
Look what we
that.
say on the mug.
Yeah.
Check it out. Together we'll spur jiu-jitsu worldwide.
Love it. Thank you guys.
That's what we're doing.
Appreciate
but
it,
we
man.
need
Thank-
we need to do
thankful
this
of-
together now.
Thank
by
for what
ourselves
you're
is
doing
hard.
with Jiu-Jitsu, Mike. I've seen you, since I moved to here.
Yeah.
You had a school in Clark.
Yeah, we started in Clarksville. You're right.
Clarksville. And Steven brought me to an open mat.
Yes.
I met you, and man, seeing your growth is very inspiring. Like,
Thank
congrats.
You
Thank
guys
you.
get
really
connected
helped me.
by Steve a lot,
Steven, that's
because
right.
Steve,
Yeah.
Is Steven
Steve
connected
that-
with
Yeah.
Rocky?
Steve don't know, but he was don't be a black belt before, but when he was purple blue belt for the Easters, I know he did a lot for the community on the area here.
Big time.
Yeah.
He still organizes big open mats at our space. Sometimes there'll be 75, 80 people there.
I
all
beat a
different
couple of
schools.
we'll be
We
there.
were there,
We'll
yeah.
be there on time.
Yeah.
Good open match. Get a good round. A lot of people from other schools too.
Yeah.
It's good.
And thank you for, noticing that. But really, it's like I get to, I know Steven's been on the podcast too. I get to be in the limelight a lot. I run the social media and whatnot. But we have a good team. And you guys know you have a good team doing this with you. You can't do this just
By
you
yourself.
two.
Impossible.
And just your two, limited scope of what you can see. Sometimes we get too close to things and we need our team to kind of take a wider angle, and because we get too close to the gym, to the business, we're very particular. So you need a team. So the credit goes to building that team at Rising Tide. That's why we've had that success. People are out, what's the secret? I'm like, it's no secret, man. You need a team to do this.
Now you guys open the second location, third location,
Three, yeah.
Third location. But the new one's the high tech.
Yeah, so High Tech is our first project we're doing with our affiliate program.
Got it.
And I'm looking to do that with other schools too. I'm looking to partner with people. That's kind of the approach that I would like to take in the future. You guys know it's a lot of work running an academy. But I've invested a lot of time into coaching and to business coaching and to mentorship and leadership. So I feel like I can really help school owners, again, kind of have that wider angle back and say, okay, what are maybe the missing pieces here, either with the student development or just sometimes the classes are off by a little bit. There's too much talking. It's not hard enough, I always say if the student leaves and they're not drenched in sweat and you're not drenched in sweat, you didn't do your job. Even if I didn't touch the mat for a round, I should be covered in sweat for my enthusiasm that I'm giving to the students. You can have the best marketing team and the best website and the best sales process and the best retention process, but if your classes, if you aren't, I mean, we get to do this. There's people that didn't get to wake up to this. People that have amputees that have their legs missing, and we get to be healthy and train jiu-jitsu. We should be very grateful for that opportunity.
For sure,
that should come out in your classes. But
That's true. And I see that you guys we see in jiu-jitsu, and we talk to people like, man, maybe the website is off. Maybe the
Maybe
marketing
they
is off.
schedule.
it probably is. But
A lot of times we talk, man, you don't have the information that you need to provide your potential students in your website.
and I believe that also you guys grew up doing jiu-jitsu. I mean, how you were young when you started
10,
jiu-jitsu.
10 years old.
10, okay. How old?
Same. I was
10.
11,
I
yeah.
started when I was 20. I took my first jiu-jitsu class in 2003. So I was like 20. And then
I'm my first class 2005. You're getting old, man.
I know, right? I know, I am. I'll be 40 next month. But and then I got serious when I was 26. So, you know, you guys grew up around jiu-jitsu. It's still we forget sometimes because we're so close to the sport and to the teaching that the general public is still very, very uneducated about what we do. And that's what your marketing should be about. We tend to market to, okay, other guys like us. But other guys like us are already training usually. They're already training at another gym, and I'm really against poaching from other gyms and stuff like that. People come and go. You know how it is. We've had students come back and forth. You know, it's fine. Like that's always
But
okay.
the market should be for the white belts, the beginner ones.
Yeah. Am I good? Is
Yep.
that me? The person that is maybe a bit apprehensive about the situation.
Sorry.
Can't tell if it's mine.
No, probably it's not. Problems come from the body. Troca lá aquele. Sorry guys. Or
Check.
get, like,
I think
little
it's
bit raw.
Maybe it's good. Maybe we're good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Sometimes when you change
it's
the
Max.
It's my one?
I don't know.
Probably.
Let's see if we can
Check,
get
check.
through it. Yeah.
Good?
All right.
Let's go.
We just maybe sit very still.
Yeah, like, don't move.
What were we talking about? That threw me off.
About the
Approaching,
Approaching the new-
I think also too, like, we're so conditioned to the intensity of MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where, like, it's just another day at the office getting smashed for us. But to a new person that maybe didn't have
Maybe
any
scared,
brothers
yeah.
to wrestle with growing up, or maybe had something bad happen to them where they were attacked, or a police officer where someone went crazy and they're apprehensive, we have to really speak to those people because those are the people that truly need it the most and will gain the most from it. And I think sometimes jiu-jitsu schools miss that messaging.
A lot. I see that. I talk to Max about this all the time. Hey man, like this normal. We're black belts. We need to put ourselves on their shoes. When they walk in, is already scared. You know, like they think, man, they're gonna beat me up here. Something gonna happen. Those meathead guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna crush me on the mat. And they walk into a facility. If you look clean, if you look professional, you know, you already give that easier way in for them. You know, and then you structure your class in a way where they can handle. And sometimes they don't feel they're holding other people back. You know, in the way we manage the classes. And you make them we talk about this all the time. We want to be what is the word, inclusive, you know, like
Yes.
I want you to come, man, you don't have to be the best.
Yeah.
You don't have to know anything. I'm expecting you to not know anything.
Yeah.
actually.
We've all been to
we're here to
gyms
teach you.
where you walk in and you get that look,
Yeah.
right? And like people won't shake their hands.
Yep.
You know, they're very gruff and stern, and it's like typically too those gyms the guys aren't very good. The places where I've been where it's killers and it's hard rounds. A good example of that, Half Gracie, San Francisco. That's a tough room, bro. Like there's a lot of tough people in that room. Everyone's super nice, man. My good friend Holland
The way it
Gracie is the
should be.
lead instructor there. Your school, bro, you got some tough guys in
Some
your
tough
gym,
guys,
man.
yeah.
Everyone's super friendly, you know, super inviting. So everyone that's ever quit jiu-jitsu at some point had their last class. And it's my job to make sure that it's not with me. You know, so they have to, even if you get killed in the class, and I can tell when someone's, man, you can read their body language and they've had a frustrating class. It's important to remember, like, go up to that student, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to go and high five the purple belt that tapped everyone and did the move you showed. Hey, great job. But that guy probably doesn't need the encouragement as much as the person that just got smushed and looks a little bit dejected, especially the kids. Who remembers, you guys started when you were 10. I started martial arts when I was 6, not jiu-jitsu. But there was a couple times where I was like on the verge of quitting. And just one thing my coach said to me, like,
Make you come back.
yeah, like made me come back. He called me one day, dude, this is before the internet,
Yeah.
and said, hey, I haven't seen you in class for a while. Like, what are you doing? You're too good at this to quit. Boom. Stuck with me forever. I was ready to quit. I want you to, he could tell, I want you to lead the little kids today. This is like Taekwondo, it's different, but I'm still learning how to teach and the philosophy of martial arts and the structure and
The values that you learn.
yeah, I'm glad I went through that, you know what I mean? And I learned good Taekwondo. I learned 80s Taekwondo on a gym floor with no mats. Yeah, like kicking hard, bro. I remember
not
like,
watered down yet.
not at all, bro. like pretty badass. Not the same as like Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu, but I still use some of those things. And he put his hand on my shoulder. I helped with the little kids. He could tell I was losing some enthusiasm. He let me warm up the class before me. And he put his hand on my shoulder. I was like 12 when this happened. Hey, man, you can be a hell of an instructor one day. And there was like that day, I was like, I think I want to be a martial arts instructor. When I was 11, bro. So I was very fortunate to know that this is what I wanted to do from a very young age. But it started with one coach. To him, it was probably just another compliment. Hey, this kid needs some encouragement. But to me, it radically changed my life. And then he actually became a student of mine now. He's like 60 something and put the white belt on and started jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, and his
That's
son,
awesome.
he moved to Arizona. His son trains his son's SWAT team member and does jiu-jitsu. And so he changed my life, and then I get to reciprocate. This is the beauty of martial arts.
Man,
That's why we have
that's
to treat
crazy.
every student
True.
like with respect, because you never know where that relationship could lead, you know?
100%. I think
that's
we feel like we're martial artists and we love what we do. You know, like, it's a blessing to be on the mats every day. And we have someone coming back. I think Bauer Socks. Hey, how I need to find a way back into the mats. I miss having Mike and those guys making me feel like I'm dead first. Thing
Oh,
in the
Patrick
morning.
Bauer sucks. I know exactly who
That's
this is.
him. Shout out to Patrick and to Ron. Shout out to Ron as well.
Ron's always here
His,
too. That's good.
Awesome.
Message here.
Ron's
Tell him
one of your
he went
students?
yeah, Ron's my student. Shout out to Ron. And how can he got to come back to train,
Well, this is not just for him, but this is to any student that's ever started jiu-jitsu and stopped. Like, first off, you need to realize that, like, we want you back. You know, nothing makes me... How happy are you guys when you see a student come back? Like, it's not... I think they think we're going to be like, oh, you quit. No. First off, remove that barrier from your brain. I can guarantee that, like... First off, if your instructor's like that, you need to find a new school. Every instructor needs to realize that, like, while this is our lives, people have other priorities. However... You need to make jiu-jitsu a priority. The average American wastes about $18,000 a year on... Can we cuss on this podcast?
Yeah.
Is it allowed to cuss? On bullshit. We waste about 18 grand a year on average on bullshit, on extra subscriptions. If you went through your phone right now and went through your bank transactions, if you're anything like me, you're going to see $2 here, $6 there, coffee here, dinner here, maybe this here, that, the kids want this from the store, but cut all that shit out. On average, if you look at what a good jiu-jitsu school costs, it's between like $1,500 and $2,000 for the year, maybe more, right? It should be more, maybe like close to that. You're talking like $8 a day, dude. $8 a day? That just shows me you don't care, right? Oh, I can't afford it. Yeah, but when you look at it like that, like it's easy to look at a big chunk, but you're dying a death by a million paper cuts with those little transactions that truthfully are probably things that are unhealthy, not productive, not pushing your mind, not pushing your body. Okay? Get rid of... To people, look, I can watch Netflix and chill out at night because I've done the work. I busted my ass for 15 years building my school, so I'm going fishing after this. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not where you need to be in life, you need to cut out everything. Everything. I did nothing but train and eat and sleep for 15 years, or 10 years. No vacations, no nothing. So if you have a goal, you have your goal and you have your resources. And you're just not aligning your goal with your resources. And, you know, of course we'll work with anyone to help lower those barriers, to help them get in.
I'm glad you talk about that, because I feel like a lot of people put the money on one of the excuses to don't train, you know, and when you cut on that way, you can show people like, yeah, that's if you put that like a priority, you can do.
And just to add to that, one thing I always remind everyone with anything, you have your price, but then you have your cost. The price of jiu-jitsu is the monetary, 2 grand, whatever. But the cost of not doing it is really high.
Way high.
How much of a punk are you going to feel like if someone grabs your kid and you can't do anything because you're out of shape, you're gassing out, you're ineffective, or that's very unlikely. Just the presence of mind and body and confidence and the focus you must have on your diet and your rest and your nutrition to be successful at
I mean,
this.
just to be able to
That's a high
play
cost.
with the kids.
The
So-
therapy on the mat.
Yeah.
The people you meet, like the community.
The
build.
community.
It's hard to build community when you're
Especially nowadays, the internet is
30,
everyone's
40
so
years old.
divided.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is the one spot where you can come in and like, ain't nobody talking about politics or what's happening or the end of the world. Like, I got bigger problems when I got dudes like Max smashing me in north south trying to keep more of me. I can't worry about those things, and there's nothing
Gotta
I can
think
do
about
about them.
defense yourself
and they don't matter. But I can help my jiu-jitsu students. Everyone in the gym supporting each other, the other gym supporting each other. It's a nice insulation from the chaos of the world. So there's your price, but what's your cost, dude? Yeah. Like your prices to pay it is pretty priceless if you ask me. But it just is about priorities.
Just about like play with your kids. I have a student, he like 40 something, got 3 kids. He start to train and like one day he come to me and he like, hey coach, thank you. I'm like, for why? And like, man, I'm able to go to the park with my kids and don't feel like look, I'm gonna die just to get the kids on the parking, you know what I mean? And now he play with his kids and like, changed his life.
I mean, that's more valuable than
everything.
Yeah.
Then he learn your arm bar.
Yeah.
Eventually he will. If he be sticking on jiu-jitsu, then I mean, he go get good skills. I confidence on my work, enough to like get any person, man.
Yeah.
Like at 60 years, 70, and a kid 5 years old, on the room. If he still stick with me for a little bit, eventually he go get good skills on jiu-jitsu. But that changing outside means way more.
Yeah. Amazing, man.
Crazy.
and then that's the environment we want to bring to the tournament. We want to use the tournament as an outlet, an opportunity to advertise jiu-jitsu in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
You come to a tournament, you have a student, they work in a professional environment, and you bring their kids to compete at PBJJF, and then they will have great seating, good refs, well-trained refs, nice facility, clean facility, professional environment. And then you bring them to a chaotic tournament. And it's nothing there. Everybody's throwing themselves on the ground and like almost camping or
yeah, it is like camping.
It's crazy.
like a camping.
And everybody's on the mat, hitting the mat. And then and you lose that students eventually because this is what their school, this is what Rising Tide is, because they compare the tournaments with your school because they're not there,
Mm-hmm.
Like
you are right. I see your point.
You represent the tournament.
You're telling them,
support,
hey, you should go do this. Yeah, I agree.
The tournament
I agree.
you go represent your school.
And like
to
this
people
is
that don't know jiu-jitsu, their families, their parents,
yes. And just to confirm that, like, and I'm not, bullshitting you guys at all. I think you guys know me better than that. But like, you guys are the top tournament we're sending our students to. I think you see that with your attendance too. I'm like, listen, I've been to a lot, and I apologize. I've been to 3 of them. My son actually competed in one of the first ones.
Yeah.
But we have I have a good team. I have Charlie there. I have Todd.
Yeah.
I have Steven. Like, I have a lot of good instructors. Sometimes, sometimes you got to let them go out there and fail as a coach a little bit. If you're hovering as the black belt and coaching the white belts, like, who cares if they lose? You know what I mean? So it's good to give those guys those opportunities. But like, you guys really do run a great tournament. I've been to all of them, and it is always chaos. It's funny you call it camping because it's like a concert like floor. And I think it is, and I think you're right. Like, it does represent the academy because you're telling these parents that's a big investment. It's a drive. It's money. It's food. And then, I mean, how many times have you been to a tournament and you're supposed to start at 9 and you're there till 5 p.m., dude?
That's not happen PBJJF.
Yeah. and another thing I really appreciate this. You guys are very respectful to the instructors, and I feel like you're taking care of your staff, because you can see a trickle down when when the tournament coordinator is not taking care of the management crew and the clock timer people. Everyone matters there, dude, and especially the refs. You got refs. I mean, I can't tell you how many tournaments I ref. The ref was like on his phone.
On the mat.
One tournament, they put the tables, because safety is important too. They put the tables right against the mat. And my student, we teach you finish your takedown. Like, first time he runs into a wall at the end of like a soccer field, no pads, and could have knocked the guy out because the ref wasn't paying attention. He wasn't guided. And the other one, he put him through it was like a WWE match. He went through the table, bro. The computer flow, pizza flying everywhere. I was like,
oh my god.
I was like, oh my god.
But like now on these times, people like that.
I mean, it was entertaining.
We're like, they're like entertainment, like go outside, like
I don't.
think
I'm like, man,
crazy
I think they really
people.
need to be. Listen, I'm a big supporter of ADCC. I think they really need to reconsider
They
that.
do.
I believe that too. I fought twice,
So
man.
dangerous, so
And again, if we're
crazy.
trying to make the optics of kids getting it, if an outsider sees that, they're like, and that's supposed to be the Olympics of what we do, they're going to be like, what the?
Yep.
I like it.
We're
We
black
like
belts,
watching
we're
it.
black belts.
Yeah,
But
I think it's
w-
awesome.
We're different.
We're different
How
though,
you put
bro.
this,
It's
like,
I
you know,
don't.
like,
I think it's maybe good for entertainment value, and I like the idea of it. It really cuts down on people running out of bounds to avoid getting taken down or getting submitted. So just make points against it. Make a negative point. If you don't like that, then you can modify that behavior by a point deduction.
Or get a big,
Bigger
a large mat too.
That too.
A little bit large mat.
Yeah.
Put the negative point.
Or a cage. If that it can't run.
That's right. But the one thing that you see, like,
And I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a big transition to that. To a lot of grappling in the cage.
You guys saw the event. Sorry, cut you, but the event in Abu Dhabi.
We both just cut JP off. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Let's-
The event in
cut
Abu
each other. We
Dhabi.
cut each
All the
other.
time. Don't worry. The event in Abu Dhabi in a cage. I really like it. The
Yeah.
idea to like grapple in a cage. Man, there's no way to run.
But one thing that we're talking about, like when you bring those chaotic, crazy tournament, it's cool, entertaining to who? Because now people that really want to get into jiu-jitsu look to that like, no, that's not for me. Because they see chaos, they see crazy people. Like it's almost, if you look, it's almost a high school fight, kids fight. They bounce out of the mat and everybody stay outside.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is a high school kids.
It's
fighting this shit.
entertainment for who's doing
Who's-
jiu-jitsu already.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for outside.
Not for all of us, like because I think we need to think beyond our generation. That's the way to grow.
Yeah.
If we think now, man, we're gonna do so many crazy things because we don't care about what's gonna happen after that.
Yep.
But whatever we're doing right now will have consequence and impact in the jiu-jitsu industry. Bottom line,
Yeah.
You run your school like trash, man, you're gonna hurt jiu-jitsu. It's not only your school, you're gonna hurt us all.
All the
Because
community.
people that comes to that place that's taking jiu-jitsu like trash will kick those people forever out of jiu-jitsu. They will never have the opportunity
Yeah.
to train jiu-jitsu. I think I really believe like more we share our knowledge with other professors that can help them to run the school better. Great,
Excuse me.
because we'll help her in the long term scenario.
Yeah.
Because
Kind of like a rising tide.
like a rising tide, yeah. That's kind of the way, like everybody rises together. That's
Your school will only get as big as your sport. I mean, how many like soccer clinics are there out there for kids? I mean, because there are millions of kids doing soccer, and while there's great benefit in that, I think we're all in agreement that like the benefits of martial arts like far outweigh other sports. I mean, I see it.
Me too.
same.
But why do those sports eclipse martial arts? Because they are being more conscious of the future. You know what I mean? They're planting a tree that they will never sit in the shade of. That's like a true mark of success. Is in Japan, they have the oldest business ever. It's like I'm gonna mess this up. I don't want to say the number, but it's some crazy number, like hundreds of years old, because they don't make like a 5-year business plan or like a 25-year business plan. They make a 100-year business plan. It's something I encourage you guys to do. What's your 50-year goal? Well, I'll be dead. I'll be dead in 100 years. That's the point. There's a really good book called The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, where in business we tend to measure by the quarter and by the year and measure growth metrics by the month. And you have to do that, but you also have to think, okay, what about when I'm 90? You know, what about when I'm not here? What's the school going to look like then?
Yeah.
Because you could also die tomorrow.
We think about
so
that.
you should think about that too. I could, you know, life is very precious.
We do
and very
this to
fragile.
go we run PBJJF to making that keep and running when we're not here. You know, because
Exactly.
We wanted that for jiu-jitsu, not
Same
for
for the schools, you know, we run the schools, so one day when we're not there, we can still impact the community in a positive way. You know?
Yes.
We can get our kids and our adults from our community to become better people to the world.
And the way to do that is academy owners need to start working on the business instead of in the business. It is so tempting to teach all the class because it's fun, right? But you need to let the people that are up and coming grow and develop, because again, what if something happens to you where you can't teach? Then your whole operation is going to fall apart because there's one single point of failure. You need to have multiple instructors. There will be some conflicting ideas about how things should be taught, etc. Fine. People will fall where they need to be. And I mean, everyone has their favorite instructor, you know, no matter your school. And again, like it's kind of like the conversation we have with the students. School owners will say, "Well, it's too expensive to hire people." Okay, but here's your goal, right? Here's the price of paying your staff. Here's the cost of not doing it. 85% of businesses that don't hire more than 4 people go out of business. So you have to develop a team. You have to bite the bullet. Pay people, not just say, "Okay, you're going to clean the mats and teach all the kids classes and not pay." You got to pay them a little bit and give them upward mobility and show them goals and teach them how to do things so that you can look at the business not here, you know, but out here. And that's really what I've seen the schools that are really successful. I see you doing. You have a great team. You've already built a good team in a short period of time. You have to, you know, you have to do it. And I see the guys that are like, they teach all the kids classes. They run the website. They answer the phone. They clean the mat. They're so particular. It's got to be done their way. They always fail. They just struggle for a very, very long time, and then something like COVID happens and knocks them on their ass, and that's what happened to a lot of those guys.
I believe in that too. We need like a team to grow, you know, especially in the jiu-jitsu community, because it's hard to do everything, man. And at one point, I love jiu-jitsu, but man, I teach like a lot for a long time. You know what I mean? I don't know if when I'm 50, I want to still teach like 20, 30 classes a week. Do you understand?
Sounds good on paper, but you know, I plan to be training my whole life, and still be active my whole life. Like I hope so. I don't know how realistic that is, but I would like to.
You're still in a really good shape, you know, on your 40s.
Yeah, have to, bro.
You'll be longer on a match, I believe. Like my professor Julio, he like close to his 60, man. He's still training. Training. Competed 2 years ago, man. Get a gold in the competition, you know. Black and red belt, coral belt, that's how call. I feel like it's here. If you keep push yourself, try to eat clean, try to
of course
build the muscle. I talked about that a lot, man. If you don't want to lift weights, man, get a little bit early in the match, do some stretch, squat, push-ups, or whatever, building some muscle that it's like you go get a longer life. You know what I mean? And doing jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? That will prevent you getting endurance when you just do a forward roll sometimes. You know what I mean? If you have more muscle.
Yeah,
And
you need to have durability in this sport, for sure. You know, some people need to hit the gym and eat a few more sandwiches.
That's true. And for you, Mike, how do you see the growth of the jiu-jitsu as a sport and as a martial art?
Where do I see it going?
Yeah, how do you see the growth since you started, and how you see it?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I'd go to a tournament and have to drive 4 hours to go to like Virginia Beach or I feel like there was a lot in New Jersey, and it would be very sparsely attended. I think my first match I ever had, there was like 3 guys in the division. I cut all this weight to get under 200, and then they put me in the next, and the first dude I ever grappled in a tournament was like 320 pounds. I was like, oh man, but it's gone. They just put the brackets together, which I understand still has to happen. But I think that it is going to take a trajectory like soccer. you guys have had a lot of great guests on here, but my favorite one was, I really liked when Monroe Hall was on here. Because Monroe Hall said something that I think everyone should pay attention to, and that's worth repeating, is that jiu-jitsu really does have all the tools that's necessary for kind of like saving Western civilization, the discipline, the honor, the respect, the hard work. It's I mean, look, you guys are coming from, like, let's be real, like a pretty poor country, and coming here with very little resources, and look at what you're doing through jiu-jitsu. I see creating more opportunity for people coming, like Alexander coming to this country. I think people are going to be coming here more. You're already seeing it.
You see that,
you know,
for the
like,
last 20 years.
And I think the DMV is going to be a hub for that, and we're going to be the spear of that. And I just see it turning into, it's close to reaching its apex. You see more celebrities doing it. You hear Joe Rogan, Jocko. I mean, even podcasters that like Theo Vaughn talking about doing it, who, like, everybody. Jiu-jitsu. Lex Friedman's a black belt under my friend Phil McGreese.
Philadelphia, right?
Yes, really great guys. And I just see it being the next, like, it already is. I study metrics on this stuff a lot. BJJ and MMA is now more popular in certain Google search criteria and stuff like that than karate. Definitely more than, like, Kung Fu, Hapkido. It's like karate is the last. Karate and Taekwondo are like the last one. And here's the thing. I'm pretty unapologetic about this because, and I get some hate for this, but I want to see jiu-jitsu just take over. If these karate schools go out of business teaching whatever horseshit they're teaching, good, bro. Good. Every time I see a traditional martial arts school shut down and go out of business and another jiu-jitsu school open up, even if it's a competitor of mine, good. Good.
More people know about
we know the truth, bro. We know the truth now. You know what I mean? So I see it eclipsing that, and then I do see it getting watered down a little bit already, like it has. But everything ebbs and flows, and jiu-jitsu will always retain its purity in the competition sphere and in mixed martial arts, and in tough gyms and gyms that are doing open mats and experiencing, like, the live element of it. You know,
like
more real.
I see the karate schools turning to jiu-jitsu schools. Like, I see the black belts getting their
What happens with the friend Ricardo? He was sitting inside the Krav Maga school, and the guys said, like, man, jiu-jitsu doing way better. Shut down the Krav Maga. Now it's just jiu-jitsu.
But you see the big karate schools opening jiu-jitsu classes.
Yes, and what's going to happen if they were smart, I shouldn't help you guys, but I'm going to. If every traditional martial arts school owner, if you have a Kung Fu school, Hapkido, karate, Taekwondo, if you were smart, you would start a grappling class 2-3 days a week. You yourself don't go on the internet and put on your karate black belt and say you're teaching jiu-jitsu and lie and be disingenuous. Do what I did. So I have 3 different black belts before I started jiu-jitsu. Put the white belt on. Humble yourself and go through the process. It's slow on purpose. It's hard on purpose. And start to transition your school into more of a combat sports gyms that are teaching wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing. It's gonna be. There will be no. These schools will be what jiu-jitsu was in the early '90s. 10 students holding on to, like, a relic of
a
the
club, you know, like
It's gonna be it, bro. And that's fine. Look, I'm fine with people doing traditional martial arts if it's good for exercise, it's helping them concentrate, etc. I think jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai help much better in those ways. I think even I push people into wrestling before I tell them, hey, I'm thinking about doing a martial art. I don't live near you, though. There's only a Hapkido school and a Taekwondo school near me. Which one should I go to? Neither. Put your kid in wrestling. You'll gain far more. It's cheaper.
Great transition.
Yeah, and then if you'll learn more about real fighting in 1 season of wrestling than you will in 10 years of Taekwondo. This is coming from a Taekwondo black belt. I'm just telling you right now. My first season of wrestling in high school was harder than all of my years of Taekwondo put together, and I came up in a pretty hardcore Taekwondo system.
And if you should teach you a lot of lessons too, no?
I have kids coming from Taekwondo black belt in Taekwondo kids, and I'm not the jiu-jitsu white belt, but like a 6 months experience.
Nothing. Like a predator.
Yeah.
But this is a great sell point because they're like, hold on, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, and getting crushed.
The parents sign up
But
right
one-
away
one-
when they
one
happen, for
good
sure.
thing that many good things that I see is that they have a good mentality of learning, and they're very disciplined.
Because the one thing that traditional martial arts still do much better than us is the life skills and the discipline and the respect. You need to maintain that, you know.
100%.
It's what made me fall in love with jiu-jitsu, because again, I came from traditional martial arts. Okay, everyone out there can make fun of me. I am a second-degree black belt in ninja. My first jiu-jitsu class,
We got a ninja here today,
Yes.
guys.
dude.
What is the ninja for people out there?
Yeah, cause I don't know what that.
Ninjutsu is 100% bullshit, and I was fully bought. And I was fully bought into it. I was fully bought into it. And I was like, dude, I had the throwing stars. I had the camouflage. I had a grappling hook. I had the swords and the blowgun. Dude, I had it all. I thought I was a killer. You know what I mean? And Max is fucking losing it. This is how this guy had me laughing in Vegas at the UFC fight, bro. You were killing me with that, bro. But I was really bought into it. But there was, in my advanced ninjutsu class, which is like an oxymoron, there was a really good judo black belt, and he taught me all the basic throws, a little bit of groundwork. And so I had some exposure to it. But then when I started doing, I watched The Ultimate Fighter, and Kenny Florian was my Hoist Gracie. You know, I watched the UFC and I was like, oh, cool, like these grapplers, the Gracies, like this is the real deal. Like, I really like this. You know what I mean? And
That's before you start training.
Yeah, because I was 10 when the first UFC came out. You know,
Do you watch it? Or do you remember?
no, like I'm
Watch like VH, no
much
problem.
later.
It was at the
When I joined wrestling in 9th grade, that was my first exposure to the UFC. Prior to that, I had no idea. So I was like 13, 14, whatever
Like
you are.
you were probably
And
more on
one
the
of the
movies,
dudes-
like karate movies. and all that
Exactly.
shit.
Jet Li, Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal. I grew up watching all that. And like someone on the wrestling team had UFC tapes. And that was my first real exposure to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission grappling. And then, but like when the Ultimate Fighter came out, I remember Kenny Florian, because they had the lightweights and heavyweights.
Like an
heavyweight.
open class, no. Like,
It was like 150. I think it was 155 or maybe 170. It was Diego Sanchez. 170.
70.
And light heavyweight.
77 kilos, I think.
So Kenny Florian was the best at jiu-jitsu on the whole show. And I remember just watching, they were just training. It wasn't even a fight. It was just training. And he was tapping everybody. Just tapping the big guys. Tap, triangle. I remember seeing him do a mounted triangle and tapping someone twice his size and being like, I have to learn that. And then I signed up for jiu-jitsu at Yamasaki Academy and had Brazilian instructors. And it was very tough training, dude.
Rockville?
Their first location, it wasn't even where there is now. It was like their first location back in like this warehouse. I couldn't even remember how to get there now. My ninjutsu instructor didn't like that I was like getting good at it and kind of like sabotage my training a little bit. And I was like, maybe I can like get good at jujitsu. I wanted to do what I wanted to start transit. I didn't want to do ninjutsu anymore after I started learning jujitsu. I just wanted to do judo and jujitsu. And dude, they were so against it. Ninjutsu is a cult. They were like, no, like you are a sensei here and it's not. I'm like, man, but the shit we're teaching is not as good as what these guys are teaching me. Like, it's just not. So we should evolve. If there's not evolution in a martial art, and that's what's great about jiu-jitsu. My original
You'll never
point-
know everything.
Let me take a step back about the traditional martial arts being professional. That's why I love jiu-jitsu, because in there they're like, you have to call me Shidoshi. It's yes sir, no sir. And in jiu-jitsu, it's like, okay, line up, cool, bro. Like board shorts and acai. I love the informality of it. But like adults don't need that. Grown men, I'm not gonna make them bow to me. I think it's good to have a line up and shake hands and stuff like that, so everyone can, you know, like rank and file. Rank and file is important.
Yeah.
You need to respect the upper belts and whatnot. And the upper belts need to know that they're being looked up to, and they must set an example for these guys. If they're just mixed in with Gen Pop, and especially Nogi, it's hard to tell. Like everyone's seeing, okay, like I expect a lot out of you guys, and this is the example here. But kids really do need a lot of this. I made my kids in my classes, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, sit up straight. You need to ask permission to use the mat. The belt's flying off. They're like, it's like, no sir, you're gonna sit down here. You're gonna behave yourself, and we need more of that. Like we really do. Like what like Monroe said, man, we can save
next
the
generation.
country, bro.
Yeah.
We can.
True.
Definitely can.
I mean that too.
Okay.
I'm not just saying it.
I teach classes knowing that at some point those kids are going to change the world. They
Yes.
might be the next president of the United States.
They could be.
We never know.
They could be.
We
I
never
tell my son and my daughter every night before I put them to bed, you can change the world one day with your brain and your skills and the investments me and your mom are making in you, and just how smart and capable and strong you are. You can change the world. You need to inject that. I tell that to
Yeah.
my students
That
too. Like you
positive
guys,
education
like
too,
you guys
no?
can like really move the needle with like how things are done in the world. So
That's true. I
But
feel
that's
that too.
that's good because like you saw some part sometimes that kid stop me whatever, man, the word is strong.
It is.
Like positive things help that the kids grow
oh,
motivated.
don't get me wrong. I holler at my kids when they need it too, but most of the time before kids need a verbal lashing, they need like a hug and some understanding. I've found that it's such a valuable tool in the gym. The kids like, ah, instead of grabbing them and sit down, like, hey man, come here. Shh, what's the matter? Like, you're okay here, bro. Like, you can just, that work. That's so much more effective than being heavy-handed.
And the lessons we teach, I had a kid yesterday actually. So he came late and was like, he was crying because he was missing the part of the warm up. And then I was like, I need to teach him a lesson because now I was like, I want to do the warm up. I was like, hold on, what are you crying about?
Yeah.
First of all, I was like, did you eat today? You should be happy about this.
Yeah.
Your parents take care of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be very happy about this. But now you're focused on the past. We do as an adult. Like this is real life stuff. We're as an adult, sometimes we get stuck crying about the past, but we can't change the past. Let's focus on the present. Let's work for a better future, And sometimes you see, sometimes people like, the past is crazy. I want to cry because of this. We turn into victims because we cannot change the past.
No.
We have to enjoy the present and work for a better future, And sometimes our generation's that like they're stuck until and then once they get what they are complaining about the past, they miss the present, and now they're gonna be complaining about the present that they missed, and it turns into a past. They continue complaining and crying about things.
I believe some people really like that.
No, but like we teach this as
Yeah, man.
a young age. Like we change that kid, he gonna learn how to behave into a different way. So we see grown up adults, right? Grown up men, women, whatever, crying about things that they learned how to behave that way as a kid.
And I think something that's also worth bringing up and something that's really valuable that jiu-jitsu has is cultural diversity. I mean, it's pretty easy here in America. Like, it's too easy. Far too easy, in my view. How many people have we met from different countries? And you guys coming from a different country, people. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I have students from all over the planet, dude. Like every continent, literally every continent, and these are real problems that people have in other places. They don't have access to the things we have here. We have an excess of access. We have just way too much access to everything.
Too much opportunity.
This is. I try to bring this up on every podcast I go on. The most valuable tool that jiu-jitsu gives us is it gets us more in touch with our primal natural self, because for tens of thousands of years, all of our ancestors, your brain and your body had to be tasked with solving problems or you would die. Survival was contingent on, I have to get good at solving problems quick. I have to be aware. I have to be capable in the body. I have to be strong in the mind. I have to care about like providing and protecting. Mm-hmm. When you remove that from a society totally, you're going to have a bunch of angry men that are purposeless, and that lack of struggle, when that struggle is not there, your mind will create and manufacture the struggle, the problem. create the anxiety, create the depression. Depression is just worrying about the past, and anxiety is just worrying about the future. But in the moment when you have to hunt, you have to kill, you have to survive, you have to chop the wood, carry the water, you don't have the dog in the hunt doesn't know he has fleas. I'm just running, bro, and fighting, you know? Jiu-Jitsu gives you that in a simulated, safe environment where it is like hunter,
Mode,
like warrior based thing. It gives you purpose. It gives you that connection. And then magically, I had a pretty bad day yesterday, bro. It never happens to me. It's just my brain started playing tricks on itself. Why? I didn't give it enough problems to solve, so it made a few up for me. And I had to sit back and be like, you know, dude, my life's actually really great. I'm gonna go train and put myself in that controlled survival stress state. Man, you take the shower afterward, eat some fresh fruit. It's like, whew, you have to let the air out of the ball, man.
And you surround yourself around people that wants to personal development.
Yeah.
You know, like
and people that won't accept you being like, oh, I'm sad today. Why?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, for
You're
real.
fine.
Yeah. Like, you know, of course. But also, if there's a deep problem, I know I can go to guys on my team and be like, listen, bro, I'm really struggling with this. I don't know who else to talk to. I need someone, you know, I look up to. You know?
Sometimes you just need to get people to listen. Sometimes I tell that to my wife. I'm angry or do something outside. I call her. I'm like, hey, just listen, please. I'm like,
Yes.
It's like, we can figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
I call
blah.
my brother,
And I'm like,
my
I'm
youngest
better.
brother. I'm
Thank
just
you.
like, I just need to kind of like be angry for a minute, dude, with no judgment.
Let it go.
You need people like that.
True, but
Fuck, I told you the JP, so we do the shirt blue, and he convinced me to do black. God damn it. Boy, what I do with this guy, Maurice? She's like, fine, you guys like that.
it's true. It's funny. Max and I sometimes we're talking about something. People that are outside think that we're fighting.
Yeah.
Because like, man, fuck this.
It's just
And
enthusiasm.
they're like,
Yeah.
okay, man. Seriously.
My
We have
wife's
somebody here on the podcast is like,
Oh man, maybe I should. The table flips over. My wife's family's Dominican, and they were all over talking about baseball one day. One of my friends is like, "Yo, man, like, are you gonna have to go break that up?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're talking about like the Yankees did. They're just very
Relax, don't
animated
worry,
people.
yeah.
that's right.
You know.
Passion. You know,
Yeah.
like we're talking about, man, what about if you do this? What if you do that? What if you do that?
Or idea. Sometimes just show an idea. We have like idea, and we start on the same way and get to a point we disagree on something when we try to convince each other. You know, like no, but my point is better than your point.
But
Okay,
then
roll
we
up the
meet-
mats.
Yeah.
Move the table.
Hey, we meet in the middle.
I heard that the
Most of the
UFC.
time.
I heard that in the beginning. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard this that in the beginning, if they had a disagreement in the UFC, that the Fertitta brothers would fight, and whoever the winner is with the fight, they would. You
do
win.
it.
We'll go with your idea because they just couldn't. Like they just couldn't do it. You know, and Dana would be like, "I don't care either way." Like you know, and they're
Okay,
like, "No,
go
I have to
fight.
be." I mean, hey, violence isn't the answer, but fighting solves problems.
It does.
Fights our problems.
So-
But like most of the
sometimes
time, we get it on the middle.
And sometimes violence is the answer.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, hey, I say this. I don't know if you guys. I don't say this to the kids, but I say to the people, hey, someone attack you, you have to be violent. Break them. If they come to hurt you, you have to protect yourself.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You're gonna get beat up. What usually
You're
happens?
gonna be the victim.
People will tell you, get beat up, cry, and then you
Never.
build the mindset of victim, and then you turn
Or today they
you
do
turn
that,
this great kid into victim in life because they lose confidence. When you take confidence from people, you kill them. You know, basically that you make them into how do you call the
In Brazil, it's
Puppet.
fantastic, yeah.
you control
Puppet.
them the way you want, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's the way.
Hey,
If
but-
someone come to hurt you, man, hurt them back.
Yeah.
If you can, you know, protect yourself.
This guy try attacking me. I go do a live on my TikTok account.
You know,
Hey, but
like,
listen,
you're
I would
you're
rather I would rather that happen than get like my jaw broken. Because here's the thing. I know that by me actually being more violent, the situation will probably be safer because I'm a black belt. Because dude, I'm not gonna break your face unless I really have to. And this, I don't, because I know what my threshold is and what my limits are, and I'm also familiar with the law and what I'm allowed to do and where I have to stop before it turns into disproportionate force. This guy, I don't know where you're gonna stop. I don't know what weapon you have. I don't know who's with you. So it needs to be a pretty swift and violent act immediately and like overwhelming. You know, art of war, man. You got to attack first and
usually when
strike
you
fast.
have that amount
Strike
of
first.
when you have
Like-
that amount of confidence, people you
They'll
tend
back
to
down.
get out of a fight.
Yeah.
You know, people usually bullies come to people that they know can't handle.
But when,
Yeah.
when they
You
get
know?
like
So that's-
attitude, you know, like the guy comes, okay, what do you want? Let's go.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
They're stepping back.
I think it's important value or benefits all kids get. You know, building that real confidence.
Yeah.
Not a fake
You
confidence.
started asking something about my son.
Yeah. Like if your son comes, someone like wants to attack them in school, do you prefer them to protect themselves, or just not be able to handle it and
Yeah.
go back home crying? And
You
know?
for sure.
My son and my daughter. So
They
my,
both
my
train,
daughter's 12, but she's pretty tall. She does many other sports. I still make her come to jiu-jitsu sometimes. She likes coming. But I mean, she can tap out like a grown man. You know what I mean? Not like a certain size, but like if the dude's like 120 or under, she's gonna get him. She was with a 30-year-old woman the other day who's like on the bigger side, and she was just taking the back, blah blah blah. And my son, you know, he's a gymnast and he's very strong, bro, and he's a little more involved in jiu-jitsu. And I just talked to him, like, you know, he doesn't like getting bullied is like not even on his radar. I have to tell him, hey, listen, dude, like, don't hurt anyone. Like you like control yourself.
Yeah.
You don't be the bully. Like,
Yes.
but I would rather have that. I would always rather have the intensity and be able to temper it down. That's much like when the parents are like, my kid's crazy. I'm like, I love that. I can do something with that. I can temper that down and tame that fire and make that kid into something for him. It's hard when the kid's like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get motivated. It's hard to build that up. It's still possible. They'll gain more from it. But I'd rather, you know, I'd rather have a pit bull. I'd rather have a pit bull that I gotta like keep on the leash a little bit and watch than a Chihuahua puppy where I'm like, come on, like stand up for. And then all these players just stand up for yourself, bro. That's the equivalent of taking the kid who's never ridden a bike before with no helmet and no pads on and finding the highest hill in your neighborhood and being like, oh, learn how to ride the bike. Go. Something you can't do. And to all the dads out there that think, well, I'll just teach my son some boxing and wrestling that I learned. No, you're not qualified. You need to have a professional coach your kids in combat so it's safe and they're learning the discipline and everything we talked about. There's no other way, dude. And by doing this, we're helping them with training wheels on the flat ground with the pads. So if they fall, and it's not a big deal, they don't get scared of the intensity of fighting. You can't just tell a kid, go stand up for yourself. Go beat that kid up. It's like, just have confidence. You have to build confidence. You have to build the skills that come with the confidence.
But some kids come with a lot of confidence already.
And they need to be taken down a little. It's good. It builds these guys up. It breaks these guys down. It evens everyone out because it's an equalizer.
Bring the energy down.
Anytime I feel like I'm getting too big for my britches, I'll go roll with Max, and he'll make me realize that I'm not where I
Now
need
you got
to
a
be.
Sasha
Now
like
I have
on
Sasha
your
there.
house. You don't
Now I
need a
have
big
Sasha
guy.
there every day, and I have to go like feed myself like some purple belts, so I feel good about myself because he's killing me every day, bro. It's perfect,
I imagine,
and it's
bro.
perfect. It makes you realize, okay, I still have much improvement to do, and I should be humble and like, you know, but also like, it's good to know that you can handle yourself in every situation.
How's about that transition? Have Sasha here full time now?
Incredible, bro. Incredible.
Nice.
And if I can just give a shout out real quick, if anyone locally is looking, we have Alexander Romanov, number 13 heavyweight in the UFC. He's teaching full time at Rising Tide, all of our locations, and we're looking for sponsorship opportunities as well. I truly believe in Max. I mean, Max is a very high level competitor. How good is he?
He's awesome. One of the best grapple guy I ever rode, for real. Like, really good. Fantastic person too. That's
Yeah.
important. Not just
Easy to
like,
work with.
Easy to work, not just like
He
about.
should come to compete in Worlds. Oh, he
True,
can't.
yeah.
The contract.
No, he can. He can
think
do
he
grappling
can do
tours. So he's available for super fights,
Yeah.
and he's available for seminars. And I have it set up where the academy can probably make some good money off. We want it to be mutually beneficial for the academy. So if anyone's interested, You know, I'm sure you guys
need
will
to
link
set
my
up
stuff.
one, yeah.
Just send me a message and we could talk about sponsorships, super fights, and seminar opportunities, because this dude has really sacrificed a lot to come. Moldova's the poorest country in Europe. He's really sacrificed a lot. He's working at the gym, so he has employment, but we need more opportunity for the guy. And I truly believe definitely he's going to be in the top 10 in the next 2 years.
He's like on the top 13 already now.
He's number 13 now. He'll be top 10. And then he does have the tools, I believe, in the next 5 or 6 years to be UFC heavyweight and even world champion. I believe he's the best grappler in the UFC heavyweight division. We just need to sharpen it. Now that he's here and he has better access to training, it's going to help. And if you're a heavyweight and you're like an experienced grappler, wrestler, kickboxer, come and we can use you in training camp.
Yeah. Wait. Or don't come. Just kidding.
Don't be scared, homie.
Don't be scared, guys. It's good session. But Romanov is a really nice partner too. He's not gonna.
Yeah, he
don't go to kill.
Yeah, I'm 100 pounds lighter than him, and he.
You ever been to Moldova?
No. The only place in Europe I've been recently was we went to Italy. Never.
I have a former student that her father is a diplomat from Moldova. He lives in DC.
Nice. Probably they know.
He probably talked to them for the consulate for the immigration. Yeah. They probably had to talk to him.
Her father, he runs the embassy, I guess.
Guys, my last thought: the Moldova guys is so tight. They tight.
Yeah.
They don't have nobody fight on the card, but Romanov coached me. You know, he helped me on.
Yeah, they brought like 20 people.
He brought 20 people to watch my fight. Most of the guys never see me. Just because Romanov go coach me, they come to support the community. I'm like, bro, I wanted the Brazilian guys be more like that, you know what I mean? Because we touch on the small groups, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe me, JP, and another.
No, the Moldovans have like a whole mob here, bro. They have a whole bunch in Vegas too.
Yeah.
Remember
we get there,
we hung out with them there.
hang out to
yeah.
Where they usually see.
Man, they're all over.
All over.
They're all over. There's a lot up where I live around Westminster and Reisterstown, I feel like.
But that's cool.
I met one person from Moldova so far.
Yeah.
And now
I met 21.
Yeah.
I was like into 3 weeks ago. I just met.
And for such a small country, I think there's 3 or 4 Moldovans in the UFC. There's Sergey Spivak, I think he's Moldovan. Yeah. Ion Kutaleba and Romanov. And I think there's a couple lighter guys too.
And man, about the experience, go to UFC coaching with Mike, man, it's like a good weekend, man. It's fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, we really want you there for every fight. It's fun. Great having a big body to warm up with. I think a lot of people underestimate that, and also it's a very serious, high stress environment. And having Max there cracking jokes the whole time. We watched that American Gladiators documentary, and we were just laughing and joking. And Max it was good because I get very serious. I'm trying to make sure we're on time for everything, and having Max just kind of bring some levity to a very intense situation.
I feel like it has good energy. We need to get a good energy
before the fight. Max looking at Romanov's opponent. Look at him. He don't want to be here. You're gonna eat him. Go for harder time. Go eat him. I was trying. Good. When we walk out, I look very serious. Because I was trying to look extra serious, because I was trying not to laugh at him, because he's behind me going, he don't want to be here. Look at him. Look at his face, man. Look at him. Pull harder time. I'm like, okay.
But it's a great experience. And also, I learned a lot on this weekend, because when we don't play, man, I ask about the schools and everything. I'm like, hey, Mike, what are you doing in this situation? I try to get like a master class in a weekend. It's good. It's good experience. Can't wait to do it again. Like Romanov now recover already, go back training together too.
Almost time?
Yeah, most time. Maybe I'll fight in December. I don't know. Back training.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I see. I wanna get another fight in December. Let's see.
I would. You didn't get hurt, and you looked really solid in your last fight. Keep that momentum going, bro. Keep your confidence up.
I'll get another one this year. Finish the year with another win. We're gonna be good.
Yeah. Hey guys, I think it's time to wrap up.
Yep.
Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Great job. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, man. It's awesome, dude.
Appreciate it. Guys, don't forget, November 12th, we have PBJJF Worlds. Maybe you bring Alexander, right?
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
What's the date?
November
November
12th.
12th.
November
So
12th.
we're gonna have the absolute.
I don't see why not.
So this belts for absolute
Gear and no
gear
gear.
and no gi male
Black
and
belt,
female, like
female.
brown
Yeah.
and black
Yeah.
for male and purple brown black for female. So it's the first event, and we're gonna try to make. We'll work on making like a show for the.
We try now. We'll
We'll
do.
we'll work on
Yeah.
different ways of creating that environment where we're gonna have the tournament and also the show during the tournament with the black belt absolute
For the finals.
And
Gonna get a big
I
match.
never trained with him, but for you guys saying he has the potential to win.
For
this.
sure. Sure.
What
Especially
big-
no
big
man. I
match
don't see
talking
nobody in the round to beat
Yeah.
him. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you guys are okay with it, you know, I'll talk to him.
Yeah. I needed to.
I'm pretty sure with his contract, he's allowed to do
grapple.
a bunch of tournaments. We had to actually do a bunch of tournaments last year because for his citizenship, they wanted to see that he was being active,
Yeah.
competing.
Cool.
And if he needs a immigration lawyer,
Santos Law Farm.
She's
Yeah,
great. She's
she's
great.
good.
I
The
think
best,
he's
man.
solid, but he did. I mean, like we did have a long, arduous journey finding a good one. That is a very difficult position to find. I will say, in my experience. So it's good you guys have good people for that.
No, this a game change when we connect with Santos Law
Yeah,
Farm.
there are 50 lawyers in this company.
Oh, wow.
And they all specific each
Different
type of
countries.
visas, different type of visas because there's so many type of visas, and they will tell you now this is the way you need to go. This is what you need to.
They prepare you to sometimes, you know, like man, like oh, okay, now you don't qualify on this visa, but you needed to do these, and these
Good.
to qualify on that visa. Then I mean, that's,
Or that this is the right, this is the way.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they tell like, hey, I cannot even take your case because you're not qualified.
sometimes
Good. That's good because a lot of people will waste your time and waste your money just to tell
Yeah.
you it can't be done.
I did it
That's
before.
good transparency.
I
you
did it
know?
before with like another law, and I'm not gonna say names, you know. But man, look what happened.
Yeah.
I start my process, boom, and he like, oh, that's fine. You can go travel. I'm travel. When I get to my connection on Panama, I saw a message from the law, and he like, man, I don't think so. You can leave the account.
Stuck.
You gotta wait. I'm like, bro, I leave already. I'm in Panama, you know, and I leave. Thanks God I get in Brazil. I figure out everything quickly, but that can take months, maybe years, you know. But I solved the problem like in 2 weeks that I'm in, and I'm able to come back. But when I get here, after I gotta wait like for 2 years. If they don't do that mistake that I'm in, probably my green card get like way fast. But he did one mistake on the process. He let me go out. When I come back, I get stuck. Crazy. But
You're good here. You're here now.
I'm here now. Everything's
But
done.
it's
But
people's lives, you know. Sometimes people
Yeah.
their money like and
Sometimes that's like the last little bit of money someone has to try to get here too.
Santos Law Firm will be professional and honest and open, you know, to you. Like that. That's what we love about them. Because she's also she's Brazilian. No, she came here, nothing. She did her law and went through the process. Her life is like very inspiring too.
That's awesome.
And,
I love hearing
and
that.
she's like, a lot of times she's here to help people. You know, a lot of times she does deals like, man, just I wanna get you
Yeah.
to this position. You know, like sometimes she's like help them, like
Just help.
pay me.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, like I can't not say much, but otherwise everybody will be like, help me, you know, like without. But she helps a lot of people. She like
That's great.
She knows where she came from, and you know, and she's like passing that forward.
Yeah.
you know. So.
Well, look, guys, I also want to apologize for being late and starting the live
Man.
cast. I'm actually late for another meeting I have with one of my mentors.
take your time.
So I know we could talk for
We can
hours.
go-
Please have me back.
Hey,
And what I'll do, I'll come back whenever you want with Romanov. I think it'd be
Please,
great
yeah,
for you
I
guys to
message
speak
us,
him. Or you
like,
can just
hey,
have
try
him by
to-
himself, but
Try
you
to
know,
bring you
I, I can come help or whatever.
That's great.
Just
I won't talk
before
much.
we finish a little bit, shout out to everybody who comment and watch us today. Shout out to Ron, Bauer Sox, I think so.
Bauer Sox.
Bauer Sox, Iago from Art Suave, Brian,
everybody.
and George. Shout out, guys. USA, let's go.
And thank you, PBS, CRAWLSPACE, Brave Kimonos, Perkins Dental Care, Sons Law Firm, Sons Lloyd Law Firm. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Mike. I gotta go to teach too, so
Let's go. Gotta work.
Good work.
thank you guys.
Money
Make
don't
sure
sleep,
you
guys.
share.
Let's go.